Okay, so we are in the series best of 5 for the place 3 bronze medal, I guess, for the winner. And we are starting here at Eindhoven, I guess, with the Chinese team as the axis. Straight away going for currently Feuersturm and Fortification Doctrine. Very classic in terms of the Fortification Doctrine, I guess, for the Chinese team, I would say. It's no surprise Feuersturm being used here for the castle. Just definitely a decent choice on this map, I guess. Especially from the south side, since it's very crucial to hold and obtain the fuel here. So we have Uber Assault Regiment for Pervitin, I guess. Going here, the British in the castle. So we might see some commandos here. Which is also a quite decent choice, considering already the doctrine chosen here by the Chinese team being Feuersturm, since there is no STG 44 counter. Actually for both of the axes, but it's also gonna take a while here for him to get into the match with obtaining any commandos. Also quite rather late to carry here, but bring very aggressively here all engineers into the battle. So now the Volksfreunde here taking the house, I guess. Yeah, very decent choice as well to tank here the damage, while winning some time here and defending the cutoff, I guess. I guess that's a decent start here for the Axis, actually. Mostly forcing away now the conscripts, and you see falling back here early on. Section's quite low, lacking the heal based on no platoon command post here. Using really the allied heal from the teammate. Actually not going here for the building. Dealing some decent damage from the inside as well. But now we have the post upgrade here for the Vickers. Rather late considering the amount of ammo here. Could we already go straight away for fuel? Which is quite a good decision, I would say. Also quite a bit too early here for any mine placements. So yeah, I guess we're possibly healing up here on the front line now. Decision here for the UC helping out the other Axis player. Against the other Axis player, obviously. And we'll see early AA Another forward T1 here. Very classic for the Chinese teams in general in this cup. We're not obtaining here any 80 yet, so see, can be very well utilized overall. Might still want to be a bit more defensive with it, and you never know, there might be a Pervitin already somewhere. So it's still a bit risky here to go any low HP. So yeah, we have actually triple MP40, that's interesting. Pioneer kind of expecting the flank, trying to get away here. Actually throwing here the grenade in the own unit. Oh. So Pioneer barely just getting away, though effectively here was enforcing a full retreat for the castle access player here with Feuersturm.
We're losing a capture point. Cherry infantry firing at us. Cheeky buggers.
No, it's not that old of a replay. It's their allied rank. Right. So AA. For countering, yeah, also the UCA, I guess. So we don't have any 6-pounder being tagged. But yeah, we have actually the sweeper here. It's always a good choice, I would say. We're here about to stop the decap. Quite a dangerous maneuver here, not falling back. Being very cut here. Yes, witness see the first wipe of the game. Possibly. I'm actually getting surprisingly away here. So we have a 6-pounder now and a T70 here for the allies. Yeah, it's the developer mode. With some adjustment, that's why it's zoomed out.
A capture point is being overrun.
We're actually going down here. It's a nice pick off.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Which means now the access here lacking the entirety of a map hack utility. And we also have here the Pervitin, rather late here for the UC. Alright. Yes. 70 here the choice to bring some stability for the allies here on the fuel side. 5-man sections as well. Because covering here, securing the VP and the Kaiser. And 6-pounder also in here, possibly with a ground attack here. Ooh, just barely missing the AA. That's a very crucial moment here for the Axis, not losing that precious AA. We've been quite a terrible loss here. Definitely one of the crucial moments here of the match, I would say. Alright, so we have the MB40 Grants here back in the castle. Surprisingly overall so far. Not being too present here in the castle. Also, there's no Opel Blitz truck here overall. I was thinking about see play like that, maybe. Hiding possibly the truck here somewhere and yeah, playing around it. But yeah, commanders are here now. Quite late, obviously, naturally. But yeah, definitely a very decent choice here for dealing with the Fox Grenadiers, and I see taking out the first one already. With grenade here, forcing away some Pioneer. The Allies very strong right now, possibly about getting another wipe here indeed.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Quite tough one here for the Axis. Gonna really take a time here to come back from that, I guess.
Grenadier ready for action.
We might also see the tier 1 here falling. Actually barraging here, trying to actually smoke the building, I guess, or the AT gun. Getting him missing. Actual target. Yeah, to 1 here. Getting deleted as well.
Headquarters has been destroyed. A mobile command vehicle has been dispatched.
Possibly, yeah. The Vic is also getting decrewed here. That's definitely coming with a price here. If the Axis player can actually recover those team weapons here, then can turn out to be a very high price here for the Allies.
We now stand at 300
Okay, yeah. Carry getting destroyed as well. Oh, we might see here the Schwer falling as well. Or another wipe, I guess. Actually, T-70 not managing to get the wipe here, I guess. Possibly even taken out here in the end, no. We have a lot of decrewed weapons. We're very alive and stable, I guess. So we already have a heavy Tushkan here. For the Soviets. Choosing to play here 80 Overwatch, I guess. The defensive tactics. Surprisingly, the fellow Axis player here not very interested in claiming any additional team weapons. So we have a incendiary grenade here on the AT. 6-pounder actually is possibly getting away or not with. I'm not sure. Possibly not, I guess. Actually, the Fox Grenadier here not really going into deep. Plus the 6-pounder being retaken. Yeah, not looking too great here. Reforged player. In the meantime though, the teammate having a rather decent time here in the middle, I guess. with a quite effective army composition already. Obers definitely dealing a lot of damage here. But yeah, in return though, the Axis here is struggling a lot with the fuel, I'm afraid. So we might see a rather very late P4 here for the Axis, if at all. Maybe we're about to witness rather JP4 or a Panther in the end. You know, we have here the display definitely struggling, finding here the ambushed commandos, I guess. So the slipping away here, I guess. Okay. Rather bad engagement here from the commander unit. Let's see wipe here though on the open, no. Just retreating in the very last moment, I guess.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Oh yeah, decent grenade. Definitely hurting here with the manpower. Yeah, access already quite low on VPs as well. Even though the fortification player here being like rather doing well in the open, though losing here a Fox Grenadier yet again. Trying to obtain the VP on the hill. So the Tushkan getting decrewed. Yeah, I guess not capturing it, or is he? He actually is capturing the Tushkan. Could be a very strong comeback here as well. Very painful loss. Especially for the enemy player obtaining actually unit. Tushka's quite a decent MG. Strongly in suppressing units. So we have now 2 MGs here with 2 Obers and a Raketen. So definitely a lot of units here for defending. To stop the VP bleed here. So we might gonna see here a caddy or something for dealing with all the support weapons from the Axis. That would be a good choice. Or maybe we're gonna see a land mattress. It's also an option. So here we have the Tushkan barraged, so possibly just falling back in time, I guess. No, actually not. Okay, so Tushkan actually still getting away here in the end. Double Raketen here in the castle. So T-70 actually getting destroyed here. That's quite painful for the Soviet player. Losing here the Ziskan. Plus the actual T-70 is definitely a tough call here. Obtaining here 120 then, so we have another T-34. That's interesting. Going straight in here. So I guess aiming here on destroying the everyone Raketin this player owns. In return, we're gonna see 20-minute very late P4 here. For the access, actually twice. It's interesting. But a very easily be taken out here by ramming and using AT Overwatch, I'm afraid. Right, so we're going in. And we want the follow up here. Taking out any T-34, I guess. So yeah, quite the huge VP bleed here. The Axis yet remaining in the match. Continue with double 6-pounder. Actually getting on top of that a Comet, alright. So no indirect fire here at all for the allies. Oh, a carry, okay. I mean, there are a lot of targets for rocket artillery, to be fair. So for allies, really getting here units for diving, let's say. A lot of tanks into the battle. A double leak here, definitely doing some decent work in the middle. And quite tough here for the allies in terms of capturing the VPs. Okay, so Caddy going for the Cattons. Not too bad, Barashi in the end. We don't really have a follow-up here with the tanks. With the Cattons getting away in the end. Yes, A is about to die here. Actually, T-34 missing here the final shot. We might see another one here in the end, yes. Here we have it, AA. Taken out here in the end. It's another decent pick off for the allies. Actually hitting the mine. Right. Actually deleting the Cromwell. Also it's the great lead here in terms of resources. Not a too tough loss here for the allies, I guess. But Axis manages to come back. A section being lost. It's rather unfortunate here on the retreat. Losing that precious experience on the section. MG34 getting decrewed by the 120. So possibly that's now a tank here in Lacquer in terms of fighting over the VP. It was decent to have like a Cromwell and T-34 at P4 for contesting, supporting attacks or defending caster side VP. So yeah, considering the allies are being rather low, the X are being rather low on VPs, I guess it's definitely a rather very annoying loss here in the end. Okay. And very low on manpower, I guess. I think 3 T-34s now. Still don't have the caddy here going for the leagues. It's interesting. They're aiming here for Everyone Raketten in the end. X is not bringing any additional armor here. So actually the Raketten is taking out another T-34, which one will be destroying here the Raketten, I am afraid. See Ram here followed up by ATOH, no interest in that. Meantime, Commando's getting wiped here in the castle. The allies really going here for the middle on the B4, but in the end not taking it out, I'm afraid. So very deep dive in the meantime here in the castle. In return. Yeah, maybe should have used here the ramming with the AT Overwatch. We're taking out the tank here. And this grenade. It's a very nice mine here as well. Should be that P4 and no, actually missing here both the shots. Yeah, another T-34 in the meantime here falling to the P4. So quite the amount of casualties here for the allies for actually not being able to get anything in return, I'm afraid. Definitely also quite unlucky here. Kelly possibly a bit endangered by before he going in rather deep. Actually retreating just in time here, the caddy. So we have 2 comets in the cars in the meantime, I guess. Quite in time, I guess, here the P4 fully repaired here. Combat in the end, lacking the little bit here of the tank commander for maybe preventing that in the very end. Great, making here possibly the crucial difference, I guess. Yeah, we won't. Guess we won't have here a triple cap for the allies. That could have maybe ended the game here. For the allies actually winning the game, but the very one open model here. Actually neutralizing the VP. Just a brief moment, so stopping the VP bleed here yet again for the Axis.
The Germans only have 25 points.
Possibly also still getting here control over the middle VP with the sections here actually retreating and not stopping the capture, using artillery flares here or anything particular in the end. Let's see, going nicely in for ending the VP, but I think very unfortunately here penetrated by the triple Raketten, and yeah, that's a very severe loss here for the British player. Kind of just straight away here driving into the trap of the OKW player. When throwing the game here, I guess, to the very misfortune of Soviet player, I guess. Of course he is straight heading for the middle, I guess, for supporting actual Ober here in the and defending the middle VP. Actually, going quite in yet, so I guess they have to send in here a unit, stopping the actual capture. Fox Grenadier is just moving in here in the very last moment.
Causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Axis right now having very strong, decent infantry here in the end. It was getting stronger and stronger by any moment, reaching higher level of veterancy here. Pervitin quite off from another combat. Actually triple racket in here. Making the wow, very miss. This one, yeah, very unfortunate loss here. Getting hit in the very moment, entering the trench here in the middle. Sorting here, yeah, in a very low army value for the British player. No X here with the big dive. Taking here the opportunity to end the game, I guess. Finishing Su-85 here in the end. And this gun was Allies sort of losing all the remaining units, I guess. Being able to finish off a single P4 in this game. In the meantime here, the AA kind of saving the day here. Preventing the allies here from getting their hands on another VP. We have the Firefly in the end, the British player. And yeah, here we have to surrender, I'm afraid. Allies very close to winning the game, but in the end having severe casualties here, especially in the castle, but also over time very high casualties here with the T-34s. Not like witnessing a single ram here in the game, I'm afraid. Having 80 Overwatch actually ready, I'm afraid. But yeah, in terms of stats, yeah, player. Yes, the allies, there's not much left in the end to be shown here. In terms of the Axis, yeah, with decent amount of kills here on the AA and even the rather late P4, decent amount of kills with the Pioneers, Fox Grenadiers. I would say here in the castle. That's a very freshly built Ober, I'm afraid, yeah. Obviously, Ober's doing quite well here against conscripts in the end, and yeah. Also, the leagues definitely having strong impact here in the game. Always preventing here the allies from capturing the middle and doing some rather high bleed on the VP. And yeah, 2 P4s in the end, so surprisingly double P4 here, winning against double combat in the end, being heavily supported by Raketans, not bouncing in the end, so quite fortunate as well, I guess. But yeah, sometimes that's how it is, I guess. And yeah, in the overall stats, Yeah, we have in the end rather poor stats here for the British player. I guess throwing in a lot for trying to end the game. Also for the Soviet player, I'm afraid. But you can say definitely one Axis player here. Greatly helping out on the open, I would say, against Tushkan, or definitely getting here some kills based on facing Tushkan. It's a little bit of the imbalance here between the player stats. In return, though, I would say, yeah, stats of Pervitin in terms of casualties and Tushkan towards the Axis rather being exactly same, so there's no difference in the end. And the army value wise, the allies very decently into the game, having obviously quite the advantage here for a big part of the game, I would say. Wiping some units here, deleting the tier 1, etc. 1 AA being lost. Having the resource dominance, preventing any early tanks here for the Axis. But in the end, I'm afraid always having some severe casualties here, as you can witness, especially with the double combat, and thus in return I'm afraid having too many casualties and losing the game, I guess. Also here very visible, quite the dominance from the allies for most of the game. So yeah, definitely having here superior resource control and VP dominance. But yeah, in the end, suddenly not being enough to winning the game, I'm afraid. So, and yeah, we have yet again Tushkan and Pervitin here. Playing allies on Belgorod, I guess. So actually this game free. Yeah. Yet again, double OKW. Surprisingly 5 Chemiegers. A few side player here. It's interesting combined with Breakthrough against the Soviets. So
Vehicle ready.
maybe expecting here ISU or something. Kaiser squad here playing with US and Soviets, obviously. Yet again, not straightforward picking any doctrine, I guess. Chinese team here definitely having yet again a very strict, clear game plan, I would say, in terms of doctrines at least. Yet again, playing with just one Kubel in the end, like in the last match. We have the Soviet here not going for penals in the end. Beating here KW player, which would have been a choice, I guess. So we will see a rifle game, I guess, again from Pervitin in the end. There's no Pathfinders at all. Scripts going in here quite aggressively, I would say. Like very, very forward. Getting forced away in the end, being a bit outmatched here in terms of numbers. Rifleman here. Defending the cutoff, I guess. Playing here very defensive in the beginning. So you have a little bit of a resource advantage here for the Axis. So far no aggressive sandbagging though. Sandbagging at all. That comes with back end pushing. Teammates setting up some sandbags with just very one Fox Grenadier here. Supported here by Fusiliers. Possibly the US here waiting for some more supportive units in the end, being the Browning, dealing with the Hubel. was playing here a bit more defensively. Yeah, after all, like at least securing the ammunition. Which matters quite a lot for the US in terms of being very in need of upgrading the rifles here with bars or M19. So, okay, so we have actually Zook. Is for the Cuba, the very one Cuba. So 4 conscripts for Tushkan here playing Soviets in the end. Yes, a little bit of counter-blobbing or counter-fusilier build, I guess. Bringing the numbers here in terms of infantry, but possibly in return quite delaying any tier upgrade. A Browning possibly not flanked here in the end. Yeah, Pioneer possibly able actually leaving the house. It's probably a forced retreat here for the Browning. Yeah, interesting decision in the end. But really deciding here to help with the rifle from the middle. Cuba probably still being able in the end to decapture the ammunition, yes. Good choice here for Tushkan going for the cutoff. Super strong into the game with a high amount of infantry. Reaching his first tier.
Is ready for deployment.
Yeah, yet again we have very early AA here for the Axis. I guess we might possibly see yet again double AA for the Axis. It's actually back in the base here. Succeeding with the decapture of the ammunition. Yeah, nice job here of Tushkan, I would say, in terms of cutting the fuel twice. For overall, possibly here the Allies being dominant overall in terms of the resources for now. So we have the M20. Quite delayed M20, I would say, here for the US player. And just now very in need of something to respond to the AA. Lacking that captain here right now. And yeah, still being unsure in the end about the doctrine, I guess. So we have G43s now, supported by an officer. So a lot of DPS here. Okay, so we're gonna see AA here for Tushkan. Sort of waiting for that to make the difference here on the front line, I guess. And stopping Fusiliers here from diving. Actually already showing off the AA without the upgrade. I guess the Axis player now being very aware here of the threat. And we have Shrek dealing also with the 20 now suit here. So countering the AA. Actually not getting here the snare on the Kübel. Okay, Rakaten is called in here for dealing with the AA. So we're actually a bit stuck on tier 1. Stuart might be coming here for supporting, dealing with the forward tier 1 here. Still don't have a doctrine here for the US player. Getting snared. Possibly getting away though. In the end. They're not connecting the shot. But yeah, in the end now, don't succeed like in the last game in terms of taking down the forward tier 1 yet. Oh, another attempt here of cutting the access lines. Severe shot here of the leg.
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Yeah, sense of Izuki being obtained, also Lieutenant here lacking a bit of the DPS against the regular infantry unit. They're so far doing a great job here on the left. Well defended by the Shrek, I have to say. The allies really getting their hands here on a VP for now. We're a little bit behind.
Mobile command has been set. The static post
Right,
is
so
now in
we have tactical support here for the US. But without the very precious half-track. Oh. Actually slipping away here. The engine boost. Probably out of the reach for the W player. Now we finally have the AT gun for the US player. We're dealing here finally the AA, I guess.
AT gun ready.
Yeah, in returning the Soviet player really struggling with it. Very forward tier 1, I guess. Okay, Kubo gets killed here by the M20, I guess, in combination with the rifles. Yeah, Okadawa, you know, getting better and better into the game, I guess. Here, the crucial amount of units. First two overs out very soon here. For the fuse side player. So half-track getting destroyed by the Raketen, though in return Raketen probably here getting captured by the allies. It's an overall rather unfortunate trade here for the Axis. Losing Raketen to the opponent is not optimal at all. Alright, so we have already double AT gun for Pervitin here. Connecting already shot for the AT.
A capture point is under attack.
And no follow-up ground attack.
Anti-tank gun ready for action.
Pervitin right now with a very decent pressure here. Not using any forward ambulance though. Either as his opponent here. With the base tier 1. So yeah, let's see, maybe allies can cling on that advantage they have for so far, but heavy investment here. Definitely from the US player here in terms of support weapons and infantry. It's being yeah, a little bit off here from any tank though. Oh, Kaiser, ooh, that's a very painful grenade here. Oh, that's a double wipe. That's a very huge issue here for the Soviet player, I would say. Losing the AA, now sort of losing the necessary crucial amount of infantry here for dealing yeah, with those Fusiliers, and the captain might he really resort into getting rolled over by the Axis infantry. Now the US here being forced to send aid. In turn, possibly losing here the M20 for that. No, actually, 20 getting away in the end. Oh, a nice wipe here of the AA. But yeah, with those two wipes, X is now really back on the menu, I guess. With double KW. Decent map control. Return here, Pervitin still lacking the major, I'm afraid. But we have already in 85, the Soviet player. Red Stewart is quite a heavy investment for delaying by quite a lot any serious armor here for the US player. But yeah, definitely having here the opportunity for cancelling some resource income for the Axis as well, so doing not too bad overall. But yeah, as you can see here, so that would be the first P4 for this player as well, so possibly, so in return maybe the US player a bit struggling then for dealing with that. Turn here, quite the equal timing of a medium tank on the other side. So it's also a bit of a game here going back and forth, but 85 should doing rather well here against the P4J. Unless it's bouncing and missing all the shots. Like sometimes it does like that, I'm afraid. So far Stewart and M20 here very well in supporting defending against the amount of infantry here. In terms of overs and everything, but yeah. Still getting forced away in the end. So one con here being rebuilt, but yeah, overall those two wipes definitely taking the toll here on the Soviet players. Oh, so getting abandoned in the end. That's it's unfortunate. Yes, for the Axis for now. Simply, yeah, sending already here a freshly built Reachelon for recapturing the Steward. And nice cut off again. Yeah, it's definitely an issue here for the US player, lacking now the fuel here. Sort of delayed any armor furthermore. Right now also really lacking that manpower.
Ready for deployment.
So we have double Maxim as the response here to the heavy amount of infantry. Nice support here with the strafing run from the US player. Alright, so shoot us back into the game. Nice flank here. It's definitely gonna result here in the very retreat of the Soviet. Also losing that Maxim, I'm afraid, here in the end. Yeah, it's another very critical loss here for the Soviet player in terms of stopping a huge wave here of the Fusiliers. In the end, definitely the flank here having decent impact and retreating, like force retreating here, the first MG. Yeah, no follow-up ground attack here, I guess. Okay, so first armor for the US is actually Jackson. Alright, that's interesting. That's a very interesting choice here. Especially considering having already 2 AT guns and struggling a lot with the infantry. Bring in another tool for dealing with armor in the end. Yeah, so I don't also kind of bringing Caddy, alright. If you can get like a decent volley with the Caddy off on the OKW player, really change the game. But yeah, it's kind of now about that. Hitting the blob here, if so, decent Caddy barrage that really have an impact for the Soviet coming back into the game. Alright, Jackson is out.
Well done, comrades. The point is ours.
Yeah, XC in a good position rather than now going to the defense here. In the meantime, obviously with that very forward T1, the other player straight going in yet again here. Oh, Caddy's out. Oh, missing though the blob here in the end. Oh, Caddy very unfortunately like turning around. Be quite a misplay here. Should misplay in the end. We could really need now the Jackson here for helping out the Soviet player. Throwing here another tank. And here also the captured Maxim really making here the difference, I'm afraid. That's a very poor trade here for the allied player. Now down here at a very low army value. Yeah. Pervitin on the other hand rather stabilizing here, but water getting caught here. Alright, I guess. Soviet casualties, I guess, in the end here resulting in the end of the game. The Axis taking here the win. Strong amount of infantry here. Not even obers being needed in the end, with a lot of kills. MG is very painful to deal with for the Soviet player as well. Only taking out one P4. I think a strong army here. The very end, I guess. Comparison to very Soviet opponent here. Being like back at only 3 conscripts yet again with just one MG, I'm afraid. He lost mortar. The hand, the other OKW player. Going heavy on obers yet again, but yeah. Being not bad of the amount of infantry compared to the other player in the end, but yeah. A J4. That's quite interesting, especially considering here this player going for the Jackson for just dealing with the P4 here, supported by a tank hunter. Maybe could have also went for a different tank in the end first, like Scott or something. Maybe helping the teammate dealing with the amount of infantry in a more consistent way. But yeah. For the Axis, wait, no, for the US player. Yes, yeah. Stewart doing with Team 20 rather good job here in the match, I guess. Having some good impact in the offense, after all. A call here with the Browning as well. Defending very well. The high amount of infantry here from the Axis. And yeah, Rifle's actually doing not too bad, I would say. In the end, but yeah. Fortunately, here the Soviet player losing way too much, and thus Axis taking the win, I guess. Yeah, so far US expected trading very well here with a rather decent KD as playing rifles in the end. In the meantime, Tushkan actually not trading too bad. Or maybe not too great as well, considering facing 6-man Fusilier squads. Yeah, being rather behind here by a little, yeah, but and it's really rather about yet again like in the last match. The losses here in terms of army value. Yeah. Tushkan here in the end having huge gap in terms of army value to his fellow opponent. Whereas being like a little bit behind, though, even though the Axis player also not being too much ahead actually during most of the game, but yeah. The end bet making, I guess, the difference. Pervitin very good into the game here with high army mount, but also like bringing a lot of units here early on, like a lot of light vehicles and stuff like that. So quite the amount of investments here, but yeah, not really losing anything. Kind of equally like his opponent, just losing the AA in the end, I guess. Having like a similar army value, yeah, but match here being rather decided on the other side. With the Soviet playing, falling like, yeah, too far behind here, I guess. So, game 4, I guess. This is. So we have Pervitin as Oster here. On the left, defending the fuel, I guess. Facing, yet again in the very same spot, a US player. With in return here the Soviet defending the fuel, going straight for defensive tactics with AT Overwatch yet again, and we have Recon Support Company here for the US player. As the aggressor, trying to capture here the fuel from the Oster player. Yet again, Kaiser squad, still indecisive here about the doctrines. But I guess waiting for the opponent showing off their chosen doctrines and yeah, I guess responding in return. Yeah, in the meantime, he allies very confident yet again in their strategy. Getting here higher Pathfinder straight away, obviously. Which makes very sense here with the actual choice of their doctrine. So it's here pushing straight ahead, getting straight caught here by very offensive Kubo here with the pioneers. Pushing very straightforward. Another IR Pathfinder. Yes, US here quite setting up for a flank. Yeah. Actually not. US, Soviet here really struggling in the early with OKW and this map, I guess. So use play here. It's maybe a little bit of help here in the end. And here about losing cutoff of the fuel anyways. Let's see though, wipe on the actually wipe here on the Pioneer. It's very tough loss for Kaiser. Tushkan here is not being able to repair the Kubel here in the end. So definitely worth it. But here of a misplay again. Using a very crucial unit. You know, the allies here moving straight over for the Axis cutoff. Probably being successful in taking that. Okay, so we have the straight rebuild here of the Pioneer. Which is, yeah, unfortunately very necessary here. But yeah, yet again, no fuel here for the Axis. I guess Pathfinder's getting away in the end. Okay, so this time the Soviet playing rather the regular build with the Pioneers and the free conscripts.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
See going yet again for the lieutenant. But yeah, it's without the tech for M20, I'm not sure. Alright, so Tushkan straight yet again, decapping here the fuel against the Soviet. So actually, we actually tagged the, surprisingly, the first tier here, so might actually see a sniper later on, so maybe. True about that, and yeah. So we might actually see Stewart or M20 yet again. But a Stewart, I guess. For the US player. Actually attacking here for the mechanized platoon. And yeah, we will have yet again Soviet AI as well. So 2 here. We're a bit late for the access, but yeah. Successfully cutting off here yet again resources and getting off the snare here in return. So even with the cutoff being captured, he is still leading, at least in the fuel income. Alright, he's back in Belgorod, I guess. So we have another AA here from Tushkan, now choosing to play Overwatch Doctrine with the JLI. AA sort of searching here, very offensively, I guess. The enemy AA would be a very severe casualty here, but actually getting forced away here by the potential threat of a snare. So not getting Kubel here in the end. And not bad of a risky play here, considering the presence of the Minesweeper Pioneer. Yeah, very aggressive play here from the Soviet. But even capturing the very own fuel here back. Rather trusting on cutting off the enemy in return. Bringing here some pressure back on the opponent. And leading here confidently in terms of resource income. Yeah, we have the stewards. And to deal though with the Pack 40. So yet again, still no reason for the tier 1 here. For the Soviet player, not utilizing that at all. Maybe rather a tactical decision here, considering the existence of Austria dealing with Pathfinders. There's a possible countermeasure here for dealing with a sniper, counter-sniping in the end. Actually not losing here conscript here in the end, to my surprise. Yeah, allies here being possibly a bit ahead with resources. Both heavily investing into light vehicles, thus say rather the allies here with the first call here in terms of medium tank. A nice ground attack here from Tushkan, taking out the AA. Also I guess a bit of a fortunate one. Not being stopped here by any shot blocker object or something. And obviously in return also combat engineer getting wiped. Usually a lot of units are getting wiped on the open. This was being I think a red cover here. Thus receiving very high damage here from infantry or actually any sort of damage, I guess. Yeah, here very tough loss for the Soviet player, especially combined with the Pioneer now getting Dushka as a response here, but Dushka itself won't really cut it entirely for the AA. As we expected here, the allies struggling a bit with the fuel here in return, so it's about US player here, possibly capturing the excess fuel in return, I guess. With I guess the Steward being here a little dominant over the 2-2. Oh, Tech 40 here being caught off guard, unprotected, yeah, getting wiped. That's a very serious loss here for the Austria player. Possibly losing now both the 2-2 here and the Pack 40. Yes. Yeah, it's very unfortunate here. The player's gonna struggle now, I'm afraid. Very intensively here with capturing back the fuel side. So in return, UKW player now being rather sufficient here back into the game. Possibly being able here to hold the enemy fuel as well, but yeah. 40 being captured definitely hurts for the Axis. Especially since of the last year of the 2-2 as well. 40 might be being used here for recapturing the fuel here being captured by the OKW player. So, okay. Also have a baby ATG here. The Soviet player. That might actually already do it. A nice shot here from the Pack Howie. And here's some decent damage on the AA. Actually, the US player rather going here to the middle, not contesting enemy fuel anymore. Deciding here rather for the cutoff yet again in turn. Possibly flanking here the MG. Yeah. Actually not flanking the MG, but cutting off the Axis. Though still leading here in terms of fuel, I'm afraid. Flanking here. Giving away yet again the fuel here of the Soviet player. Going in helping, I guess, Pervitin with holding the rather defensive fuel here, being a bit closer to the side of the Axis, right? Meantime, now the Soviet player pushing hard here, trying to punish the OKW player for helping. He gets destroyed here in the end after all by the baby ATG. Yeah, your Pathfinder here not as strong as the airborne variant. Doing too great here against the Grenadiers. Getting away here in the end, but yeah. Soviet player straight again, going here for the cutoff. And a very fast reaction here to the flanking of Tushkan in terms of helping the own teammate. Very nice synergy here from the Chinese team. Yeah, 50 cal getting decrewed. Actually quite the amount of fuel here for the US player, not having tagged yet the major in the end. So 50 cal getting destroyed after all. Being captured by the Oster player or recaptured.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
But the game rather even so far. Contesting yet again the fuel.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Also the scout plane here with the overflight were doing a great job.
Supply line just got cut off.
Allies right now really lacking that AA. And quite well into the game.
There's a major reporting for action.
Surprisingly, the P4 being out here first. With now an actual Su-85 following up here in the end. I guess for dealing with potential P4 here from the OKW player. And baby ETG here successfully forcing back the AA. Pick 40 obviously very handy here for the US player. For dealing with the P4 here, having the better penetration. Fortunately missing obviously here the first shot in the end.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Interesting choices here from the allies. With straight away Su-85. Believing, I guess, strongly into the own infantry here. Alright, P4J on the field. But their access right now quite decently back into the game. Even having some serious casualties here. Yeah, to 85. Spread away here, dealing with the P4. Conscripts effectively flanking the MG. They're possibly now forced away here by the AA combined with the P4. .85 of course following up. And we have a command P4 for Pervitin here. Investing heavily on medium armor. Return the US player here, being down on just one pack 40, actually going straight away for Jackson. Both of the allies both players here very confident in their own infantry. Feeling like any anti-infantry armor being here very necessary. Playing here rather defensive build, I would say, in terms of defending. Tank hunters. Definitely preventing here the Axis from attempting any serious dives. Let's see the Soviet though following very soon up here by a Caddy or T-34, yeah. Yeah, it's also very interesting here with the Soviet not going for T-34 since having AT Overwatch. Thus not going for any ramming combined with anti-overwatch at all. So maybe just believing into conscripts in terms of snaring tanks. Finish them off. 85 here. Restrained spotting for the AA. Off yet again, some decent damage. Oh, Grenadiers getting away. Double pack 40 here from the offset player. Quite a classic. But yeah, there's not that much of targets here for the pack 40. Vixen is rather a threat to the own armor, I guess. Right, scare the barrages in. Finding here the Raketten. Yeah, just predicted shot, I guess, at the middle of the battlefield here. From the middle base exit, I assume. Also VP-wise, game rather balanced here. This conscript about to get wiped here after all, yes. Return Grenadier getting away. Oh. Stewart actually not falling here. DP4 possibly getting caught here by the SU-85, yes. Tushkan here getting punished in the end by the dive, nice. Utility usage here from the Stewart. OKW player here, we're losing a very expensive vehicle. Straight away go here. Converted into a little bit of fuel yet again. Possibly gonna cost you know Tushkan's opportunity in terms of attacking. I'm going for Panther, so it's more setting into sort of the battle of tank hunters, I guess. Everyone very confident in the own infantry. There's maybe a little bit of the Soviet here with the caddy after all. Possibly actually not getting wide. That's unfortunate here. So we have 4 conscripts now here. Very heavy investment. Possibly getting here the wipe on the GLI. That's 85 straight away following up here. So Tushkan very scared here of 80 Overwatch. Right, Pervitin now also attacking. Will be very heavy tanks or maybe a Werfer in the end. For the caddy with not very the impact. Might see another barrage now. Aiming here close range for the over, but we're actually getting another caddy, so maybe we'll see here a double barrage at the unit trying to get a wipe. I guess still unsure about actual targets. See, the ally is a bit lacking with the intel of the map though. This is a very decent presentation here for a caddy barrage, I would say. Right now US going for Scott here, supporting against support weapons. Alright, the barrages are in, and seems Pervitin is rather reverting here into them. It's a serious loss here for Pervitin. Now actually going forward here, which is I don't know, rather the wrong choice in the end. Got to lose all his armor, I'm afraid. Jackson getting destroyed in the middle by the Panther with the Raketten, but also Pervitin in return here losing, I'm afraid, all the armor to the Zooks with the Pack 40. The end here, I would say, Axis with high casualties, especially here on one player. Okay, straight away calling in the Panther, even though Jackson is lost here. Okay. Interesting. Maybe Axis planning here with a big dive for the caddies in the end. But yeah. A lot of skill planes here used, sadly not very effectively. Being left without any targets. So you won't see any skill planes any soon. Yet again. Oh. A possibly getting destroyed here by the baby AT gun, or let's see, no follow-up ground attack here. Okay, missing actually the target, possibly not getting decrewed in the end, yeah. And conscript, I guess, getting wiped in the end, no. That's red cover, but yes, red cover here. Fortunately, deleting the conscript here for the Soviet player. Patton here finishing off the baby ATG. Yes, conscript and straightly rebuilt here. Caddies are back in. Losing away here all of the grenadiers. Very early on he's spotted by the Pathfinders, I guess.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Alright, so now we have flares here. Not sure base of which unit though. Oh, C85 taking out the AA finally. Which doesn't have really purpose here in its original. X is now rather struggling here, especially Oster player. Receiving quite the amount of casualties just a moment before. Meantime, though, Tushkan got a good into the game, I guess. Pressure here also consistently by reinforcing units here. Staying in combat. Right, Pervitin getting another man patrol. Alright, it's interesting. As well, so no Werfer, no Brombeer any soon, I guess. Okay, possibly losing now the VP as well for the access in the end. Oh, quite the strong double caddy volley here. Maybe based on the Pathfinder on the side, I'm not sure. Yeah, so far caddy's really making the difference here in the game for now. Getting some serious vibes here. Tough casualties for the Axis overall by the caddies, yeah. Well, still on a rather decent army value here, but yeah, slightly behind in the end. So we have another Scot here for the US player. Okay, first heavy investment on AT, no heavy investment on anti-infantry for the allies. From both the players, so quite a similar strategy, I would say. Getting here the wipe on the retreat with the cluster bombs. It's very decent after all. Possibly getting another wipe on the Gren. Follow up caddy barrage here in the retreat, I guess. The Pervitin really taken out here by the caddies. Fantasy failing on sneaking upon Tushkan in the end. Well, luckily Tushkan here not getting engine damaged here after all. Throwing the MG and the leak. The Soviet player here. Almost also losing the Ober here in the middle. Being forced away. So yeah, game plan for the Axis seems to be here about diving and taking out the caddies.
A capture point is being overrun.
Yeah, in the meantime, Allies kind of having the tools here to defend the caddies. And still being able to compete the entire map. Definitely leaving here the opportunity to dive as well. So far also Pack Howie and Vet free here and 14 kills, definitely doing a decent job in this match. So yeah, we have very heavy amount here of anti-infantry now from the allies. Pervitin bringing in a Werfer, so that's rather the contrary here in terms of supporting any dive. We've maybe aimed down here on a dive. We have two Panthers with both the skill plane abilities being up very soon, but I guess it's not really gonna work out now. So we have here one Werfer, I guess, for dealing with the very one pack here of the US player, I guess. We've already been spotted here by the Pathfinders. Actually, luckily, wiping here the Pathfinder in the retreat, moving through the actual target. Possibly taking out now the pack here after all, but in return here also losing the very own AT gun yet again to caddy barrages, so we won't have another dive here. But Panther getting snared here. AT Overwatch being called in after all. We have two SU-85s, so it's definitely Tushkan here losing a Panther, I'm afraid. Blocking himself here after all in the... Oh, almost losing another Panther here. It's not looking good here for Axis. Scots here supporting, fencing off the OKW infantry. The major got killed, I guess, by the grenadiers. Very aggressive AA here, to my surprise. Well, like, I can have the zoom with developer mode and the right code lines in the console. Yeah, very aggressive AA here. Very confident. Being utilized here for preventing Tushkan pushing out of his base. Alright, so we have two Jacksons now. So we might even see here the US player diving for the actual Werfer. Tushkan quite off here from rebuilding his Panther, I'm afraid. Return, the solid player being very decently popped here at 2 SU-85 and 2 caddies. Alright, Soviet going in yet again, I guess. Going for ground attack here though.
Our enemy has only 200 points.
Jackson's also setting up here, going for the middle. Pervitin not investing into another Werfer, so we might see Brumbear or another Panther indeed as well here. Next caddy barrage is in. Seeing here overall the VP and the retreat pathing, I guess. Werfer's also very ready to fire here. So far stuck on the first volley kills, I guess. No missing paratroopers here rather. Soviet already busy trying to finish off the Shreya, preventing UKW player from coming back here into the game, I guess. No creeping up already yet again at the Shreya. Again, no, just scouting the terrain. I'm afraid. New cluster bombs coming in. We're failing to finding any targets here. So we play very well using focus sight. It's currently is not getting wiped in the end. Oh, yeah, that's the artillery barrage, the air pathfinder being dodged here. Also, we have a Stuka after Tushkan, I guess. Trying to counter barrage, I guess, the Soviet infantry. So seems like Axis haven't given up here on the further attempts in terms of diving the allies, deleting the caddies and the Scots. Just a sheer force here of Panthers. It's another Werfer barrage, aiming for the paratroopers. Another 2 kills here. So we have a 42-minute P4, I guess, being popped out here. A very interesting choice here by Pervitin, bringing another medium tank. Probably going for a deep dive right now. Preventive Katyusha here. For diving in, I guess. Instead of stopping here any attempts of diving the US player. It's a gripping barrage here after all. Before here, very endangered. I see 85 missing in the end here, but a lot of tanks here following up for Pervitin. Panther moving over, but I guess that's quite too late in the end. Ooh. Almost killing here the Panzerwerfer. Very deep dive here with tank hunters from the Soviet player. Pervitin coming in here. Possibly taking out here one Su-85. Yes.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
So Pervitin here losing a lot of units, also losing all the pioneers. It's being forced here to rebuild them, which is quite expensive. Oh, and possibly going down here to the Jackson. Yes. There to be a casualty here. Stuka almost with a triple wipe here on the conscripts.
Fast track has been assigned to our forces. Su-85 tank destroyer
And not looking good here for Pervitin, or being stuck on that P4 here. Which won't do much against the Jacksons. Especially at that 0. Having very low armor as well. Oh. Kitty Barrage here, deleting the MG42.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Comply!
Tushkan finding the AA in the end. Like, there being another AA already. Allies being very prepared here for another run here of skill planes, I guess. But caddies having quite the amount of kills. Definitely with a toll on the axis. So the the Scots here are not doing too bad. It's really getting wiped. Guess combination by the Pack Howie. Pack Howie had 15 kills. Possibly a good target here for the Stuka. Stuka actually here going for the conscript and surprisingly getting the full wipe here. Yeah. Pack Howie really preventing here the Axis from capping the middle, I'm afraid. 5 Ober, yeah. I guess getting away. Oh, getting wiped here by the barrage in the retreat. Being very well timed here by the fellow US player. That's a heavy loss yet again for the OKW player. Okay, so we have double P4 actually, supported by the command P4. Facing Sherman, supported by 2 Jacksons. It's very interesting. So Pervitin here actually deciding to dive this army composition possibly. Or maybe waiting yet again for another P4 after all. In the meantime, Axis allied player here, the US player kind of oh, yes, here we have it, the final push. Getting actually nicely in here with the re-attack here of the allied tanks. Thus getting a very successful first volley here with the medium tanks. In the meantime though, Panther being taken out here in the middle. Pervitin here, a bit of with a late retreat I would say, now finally falling back. Allies going in is very straight away now with all their armor. Picking off another P4. Here missing a shot. It's 85 sort of looking for the other P4 I guess here in the base. Taking out yet again another tank here from Pervitin. The base dive is very real here of the tank hunters by the Soviet player. Supported by the 80 Overwatch here, finishing off the Axis in the end. With taking out all the armor of Pervitin. To the very misfortune of the Axis, almost taking out the Pant as well. Yes, what an end. What a chaos, I guess. Both Axis player here. Very down to a very low amount of units. Pervitin is just having 2 grenadiers left here with about 30 kills though. So I guess that's the very first grenadiers of the match, same as the pioneer here, being at that 5 with 18 kills, get 9 kills. Yeah, in return here, the allies, yeah, with quite a decent kill count on the caddies, I guess. This Su-85 here, destroying 2 vehicles in the end. Quite decently as well. Double AA for the Soviet here. Realizing the doubled threat here of skill playing abilities. Possibly a good choice after all here. Also though a bit lower here I guess in conscripts, losing in the end some also to the Stuka I would say. Meantime the US player, 41 kills on the paratroopers. Yeah. Turning out to be a very decent unit in this match, equally as the Higher Pathfinders here. Also a little bit of defensive Zooks here with the Reechelon for defending any dice, I would say. And yeah, one of the MVP units of the game, I guess. A very silent MVP unit being here also the Pack Howie. Definitely having some impact here on Axis vibes. Quite silently, unhindered, shooting from this point sort of the entire match. Supporting here very effectively and holding the middle. Yes, and surprisingly the Lieutenant with the 1 Zook, I think. Or actually 2 Zooks also. Survived the entire game here as a defensive measure, I guess. Yeah, Scott's also having quite the impact here with almost 40 kills. So far, quite well in the end as well. Very surprising, I would say, dice here by the allies, especially with the Su-85s. Very interesting. Very confident choices here of the Soviet player, I would say. Going in so deeply without any information. KD-wise, yeah. Soviet not doing too great here overall, but yeah. Definitely having crucial vibes and destructions here of the Axis players. Us winning rather about that than the actual performance of the fleet and army composition, I guess, in some way, you would say. Use player, like trading, yeah. You could say rather bad as well in terms of KD-wise, having Pathfinders and Paratroopers being rather quite expensive. Obviously, high amount of damage here. Especially for the Soviet dealing with temporary double Panther. And yeah, this player overall with a heavy amount of medium tanks, I would say, and Panther as well. Return, yeah, Axis stats being quite decent in terms of KT. Maybe not for Pervitin. Would say also having overall very heavy casualties here by the caddies in the game. Vasir suffering also greatly by that. And yeah, rather Tushkan here having the surviving infantry and stronger infantry for dealing with both of the opponents, I guess. Okay, look at the graphs, yeah, you can see. For a long time, quite balanced game, I guess. The US always very heavily invested. Partially losing here some units, like the first Jackson and such, but yeah. Rebuilding very quickly here and then being rather capped here, not having too high casualties at once. In the meantime, yeah. Both Pervitin and Tushkan always sort of losing a tank here and there. I guess a bit more than the allies in the end, and yeah, that's why I guess the allies here turning out to be winning in the end with the more confident high amount of units. The encounter diving, the Axis, and taking the win home, I guess.